Hadi Choopan wins the finals at the 2025 Mr Olympia, but Derek Lunsford wins the contest. What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with my results, reviews, scorecards from the 2025 Mr Olympia. Derek Lunsford wins his second title now, becomes only the second man to lose the Mr Olympia title and then regain it back after Samson Dauda won last year. And then in 2023, Derek Lunsford won the Open Mr Olympia. He has not finished outside the top three in the last 4 years. He's only 4 years competing in the Open, and he's done what he's dubbed the Triple Crown this year, winning the Arnold Classic, taking home $500,000, I think it was, winning the Pittsburgh Pro, taking home another $100,000, and then winning another $600,000 here, takes his yearly earnings to 1.2 million USD. But it wasn't without controversy because Derek Lunsford did not win the finals. He lost the finals by a point to Hadi Choopan. Let's go pose by pose and break this thing down a little bit for you guys. And this is the final four call out here. Photos courtesy of Gannikus Original. Shout out to them. Great photos over the weekend. Derek Lunsford on the far left there. Andrew Jacked, Samson Dauda, and Hadi Choopan, who finished in second place and took home $200,000. Andrew Jacked in third. I believe he took home $100,000. Samson Dauda, I think, took home $50,000. And Martin Fitzwater, who finished down in fifth place, took home $30,000. So let's go through this thing pose by pose. I'll break down the whole top 10 for you guys. So in the front double bicep, Andrew Jacked destroys this shot. We've got obviously the two big men in the middle here. It finished that on the last call out. They're on the outsides, which we will show you those versions as well. Andrew Jacked, to me, by far won the front double bicep. Now, prejudging, I thought Andrew Jack's quads were a little small. I'm like, no, he doesn't have enough sweep. He's in condition, but finals, he definitely came back fuller. It was very impressive. At prejudging, I don't know if I had him winning. I probably would have had one of these other guys over him, but when picking it out, it's like, which one do I choose exactly? Because they all have their weaknesses as well. Now, in the front lat spread, something I noticed actually straight away, well, the first thing, Andrew Jacked, when he actually went into his pose and fully hit it, he really popped on the stream. He popped in every photo I saw. And in those two first poses, he looks like the rightful winner of this contest with a certain level of ease, in my opinion. Derek Lunsford on the far left, he's improved the front lat spread out of sight. He definitely has more condition. The way he hits it, the arms look more impressive there. The chest looks more impressive. He definitely has improved that front lat spread a lot. And I think that's what helped him get the win at the end in this show, because if he was getting wiped out on the front lat, that would have really hurt him. Samson Dauda on this one, standing in the middle, he lost a bit of fullness in this show. We'll get into that a little bit more, but you can see it on this pose. Lost a little bit in the quads, where it's not as dominant of a victory in the leg department over Andrew Jacked and over these other guys as well. So I think that hurt Samson in the end, but he did bring great conditioning, that's for sure. But I think he lacked a little bit of conditioning because he didn't have the same level of fullness and muscularity as well. Now, when we turn to the side on the side chest, this is where Andrew Jacked loses the contest, because this is probably his worst pose. This and maybe the side tricep. Every other pose, I think, is pretty damn strong. You can make an argument most muscular isn't big enough, but at finals, he was shredded on it. Now, Derek Lunsford, he looks very good, very complete on that side chest. He wasn't sitting on the glute there, but probably going for a bit more hamstring on that one. The side quad looks very, very good. Pretty well conditioned enough, I'd say, on that side chest, and a lot of muscle there. Very packed and, pretty well cut out muscle. And on that side chest, I'd have it probably Derek Lunsford or maybe Hadi Choopan on that shot. Probably Derek first, Hadi second. And then we go into the back double bicep, where Andrew, when he pulled his elbows up a little bit, you can see his arms look fantastic. Shoulders were big. Back is definitely improved. The glutes were in for Andrew, which is what I really liked. But something that surprised me, Samson Dauda looks fantastic, depleted down a little bit on this back double bicep. His back double, I thought, was one of the more impressive ones of the show, which surprised me because it used to be a weak pose. And then some of his other stronger poses were weaknesses in this show, which really, I suppose, was shocking. But he's always worked on his weaknesses and brought those up. But I think going away after this show, Samson's going to realize he wants to come back with more of that fullness in the future, and maybe a balance between that conditioning and fullness. And then that will lead him to have the best conditioning on stage that he's ever had. And one thing I want to give credit to here, obviously Derek is very strong on the back double bicep, and I think he wins this pose. But Hadi Choopan on the right, his back was way harder. You can see it in this photo, way harder at finals. I don't know what he did between prejudging and finals. Probably Hadi Rambod got in his ear and said, hey, I'll help you out on this one, because apparently he's not coaching Hadi. And whatever Hadi did between prejudging and finals, and that's typically what Hadi's like. He comes in better at finals. He definitely came in better at finals. And I think Derek was the only guy out of a top 4 that didn't come in better at finals. And he did say that he was actually sick. And that was the reason why he actually came out last for the posing routines. I was saying to myself, this is disrespectful. You know, I was sort of going away with that. And a few people were thinking the same thing. I at least thought that. And that was my reaction, that they'd put Derek last, maybe because he's more of a contender in this show than Samson. That wasn't the case. Derek was sick. He said he's unwell or something to that nature. He wasn't doing good. So Derek nearly could have missed out on that, missed the final pose down and lost this show and been, you know, a DNF. But instead he wins $600,000, which is a massive, massive turnaround in that regard. But on my back double, I have Derek Lunsford and Samson Dauda are probably my top 2 on that one. Rear lat spread, Samson looks pretty decent on this as well, but Andrew Jack also looks very, very big. This is where Andrew, I don't think, loses too much compared to how he has in the past, because it used to be the side and the back shots he would lose on. And while he's not winning these shots, he's not as far behind. Derek looks fantastic. I think Derek wins this back shot as well, but Hadi looks quite good on this one, and Samson not bad at all, probably in that order. Side tricep from the finals. Andrew needs to work out how he can make that pose look a little bit more comfortable. I know he only hits it in the side for a little bit, turns to the front and locks that quad out, which I think is the best move. He should do that, but just looks a little awkward. If you could straighten his arm a little bit more or something, I think that would suit him more. Samson, I thought, looked way better at finals in this pose. I thought that came together quite nicely in that regard. Hadi, rock hard on this one. I think Hadi probably wins that side tricep just on conditioning, but he can be prone to looking a little bit small on that one. And Derek, I've got to say, pretty damn balanced, pulls the waist in pretty well. Arms, chest, shoulders, traps, side leg. It's all there, you know. Another pose that Derek improved massively was the ab and thigh pose. He figured out how to lock those abs down. They're not perfect. They're not Hadi Choopan abs, but they're comparable with Samson on this pose now. And for me, Andrew Jack, when you see this pose in a lineup, you can see Derek's cheating the line a huge amount there. So he doesn't look as, you know, short next to Andrew. But Andrew, for me, hands down, ab and thigh, he easily won, even if it doesn't look it by the picture. And then just standing in the lineup as well in that front relaxed, Andrew Jack wins that as well. So for me at finals, I had Andrew Jack winning. The crowd went nuts for him as well at finals. And, you know, when Bob asked her, who do you guys have? You know, do we like Samson? Do we like Derek? Hey, let me know if you want Hadi to win. And he said Andrew Jack, and people went nuts. So that tells you something. Hadi won the People's Champ, which surprised me a little, but yeah, Andrew Jack was definitely, at least by the voices and by the audience that I heard, he was the People's Champ, at least there in person. So a great top 4. I was blown away. This was the deepest Mr. Olympia lineup I've seen in so long as well. The quality, top to bottom, was insane. And I will go through those placings as well and highlight a few other guys. Martin Fitzwater, you don't see him in this picture. He was 5th place in this contest. Martin really brought it. Prejudging, he brought it in as well. I thought he might get a little bit better for finals. I'd say he probably didn't get any better for finals, although he did get 1 point better at finals. He's on 25 points compared to 26. But he looked really good. The dugout hamstrings and glutes were absolutely insane from Martin. He deserves a lot of credit for that. Really, really bought it in that regard. Crazy most muscular, crab most muscular, crazy taper on the front double bicep. Really head to toe conditioned, and seems like the Olympia is Martin show. Last year was his best version of all time, and this version definitely rivals that, if not beats it as well. So shout out to Martin Fitzwater. 2 top 5 Mr. Olympia finishes in a row. Last year, he's 4th. This year, he's 5th. And I see this guy going upwards, not downwards, that's for sure. 6th place, what happened to Nick Walker? That's what everyone is asking. And his fans or the comments or whatever, they turned so fast for Nick Walker. After Pittsburgh, there was a lot of hype, a lot of talk going into this one. People were putting money on him. People were excited for Nick Walker, thinking that he's going to do big things and win this contest. I predicted him in 2nd as well, and he had that ability to do that, but he didn't nail his peak for me. He looks like he needed a little bit more detail, a little bit more sucked out. It's a tiny bit. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring the size, and Nick has to be that massive freak. He can't go too far one way or the other. And it goes the same for all these guys as well. If someone tries to come in, hey, I'm coming in Munza shredded, they come in inevitably flat and they don't have that pop. There's only some guys that can actually do that, where they can deplete so hard they go to, feel like nothing and they're still full, like maybe like a Rubiel, but even still, there's a limit to it. So unfortunately for Nick, he went a little bit too far on the side of fullness. I think the waist was a little bit thicker at the side. The legs weren't round enough to compensate for that waist, and it just threw off his shape compared to the last show, which was Pittsburgh. And I did hear he's heavier for this one. It wasn't the right move, unfortunately, for Nick, but he'll be back. And hey, Nick, not at his best, is a top 6 in the world. So nothing to sneeze at there. And I'm sure Nick will be back with a vengeance. Posing routine was cool, way better at finals. Tan was way better at finals, and just overall presented better, but it did not change on the judges' scorecards for finals. Now, Brandon Curry in 7th. This dude was insane. This guy brought a package that I think was better than when he won the Arnold Classic a couple of years ago. And it relegated him to 7th. So Brandon really brought it. I thought his leg standing next to Nick Walker was a big advantage, having Nick in this lineup for Brandon, because it sort of highlighted a few things. While Brandon blew away some poses like the back double bicep against Brandon and a few others, Brandon actually blew him away on some poses, like the aesthetics on the side tricep, the most muscular I had Brandon on, which was wild. He hit that crab most muscular and my hands together, and I was like, Brandon is hiding some size, because just before the show, he didn't look that huge, but he nailed it here. And I'm just so happy for Brandon, and working with his coach, Justin Harris, has definitely served him well at the 2025 Mr. Olympia. He beat out a very, very good Tonio Burton. Such a big fan of this guy. I had him challenging for that win at the Dubai Pro against Beiruz Tabani. I still thought Beiruz should have won it, and he did, and won $140,000. Tonio was relegated to 3rd in that show. He has come back and beaten everyone that was in that contest. He beat Rubiel Mosquera. He beat William Bonac. He beat Beiruz Tabani. He obviously wished that probably would have been on the Dubai Pro stage, because he would have been $140,000 US richer, but he would have got at least a little bit of prize money here, and really gets redemption and gets another top 8 finish, because he's been up in those spots before. So if Tonio can add that 5 to 10 pounds, because he has like veins all through his back, he had some crazy things going on with his physique, he can push right up there. He can be the modern day Dexter Jackson, knocking on the door of that top 3, top 4. Really, he could be up there, right up there with Martin Fitzwater. 9th place, we had William Bonac. This dude just comes in year after year. I heard it's going to be his last Mr. Olympia, so this may be the last swan song for him. I thought we might get an announcement on stage. We didn't get that, so we still might have more contests in the bank for William Bonac. And hey, there's money out there. He won Detroit last year. He won, got 2nd in other shows and won some good money. Why not keep going if he can have the same sort of season he had last year, this year, next year? Then why not do it? I'd do it if I was him. Now, Vitaly Golnikov, the number 1 of all the debutants. Many said it was going to be Beiruz Tabani to be the number 1 in this show out of all the debuts. It was Vitaly Golnikov. Good veto, looked fantastic. He should be so proud. He has a lot of muscle. Just needs to improve a few poses. The side chest has come up a lot. The back poses were actually quite good. The back double, he falls down a little, but the front double is superior. It's absolutely amazing. Near flawless. Most muscular. He's an absolute freak. So shout out to good veto, Vitaly Golnikov. But in 11th, we had Beiruz Tabani. This guy's prepping for this comp, not knowing if it was actually going to happen or not. I think he's going to do another show in 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. I believe that's the Prague Pro. We did see an update 3 weeks out of the Olympia. It said 3/5 weeks out. That would put him in Prague. Hope to see it. And he placed just ahead of Jordan Hutchinson. I actually had Jordan Hutchinson beating him. He actually did beat him at finals, actually. So that's interesting in itself. And fell behind Beiruz by 4 points. But what an Olympian debut, and what a season for Jordan Hutchinson. This dude has to be on top of the world. 2 pro wins for the year. Mr. Olympia, top 12, even one of the toughest, deepest lineups of all time. Shout out to Jordan. And then one more guy I'll cover off. Urs Kalecinski in 13th. We didn't get to see his posing routine, unfortunately, because they only did it for top 10, but Urs should be proud of himself. Beat out some mass monsters, Regan Grimes, Rubiel Mosquera, seasoned other competitors as well. And yeah, what a lineup, what a Mr. Olympia. But at the end of the day, Derek Lunsford gets the win over Hadi Choopan by 2 points. He nearly didn't make it to the posing routine in the end of his show. He did. He got the win. Even though he lost the finals, he won that prejudging by 3 points, which was enough to hold on, even though Hadi Choopan won the finals by a point. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. My name's Xavier Wills. Let me know your comments on how you thought this contest went. Who was ripped off? Did Andrew Jack deserve a better placing? Did Samson Dauda deserve to place higher? Did Martin Fitzwater deserve to crack that top 4? And who do you think actually had winning? And who did you actually have winning this show? Because I see there's some debate online. Let me know in the comments. My name's Xavier Wills. This is Desktop Bodybuilding. We are out.